Hooty hoo, all my stock market gamblers. Welcome today. I'm Tall Mike. I'm so glad you're here. Well, it's Friday. We made it to the end of the week. What's going on in the markets? Dow's up about 100, the NASDAQ and S&P kind of flat. All right, so this market has kind of been like this rocket ship. I mean, it's just been going straight up. No pullbacks, nothing. It's just been going up and up and up. All right, now, is it possible that it continues? Absolutely. Now, right now, we're celebrating that the inflation problem has been solved. Inflation has gone away. There's no more inflation. Now, if you believe that, and if you believe this big stock market rally, well, you got a little different take than me. I think inflation is far from over. I think a second wave of inflation is going to show up bigger than the first wave, and I do think this market's going to come back in. Now, I want to show you a chart. I want to show you a chart today and see if you can guess what chart this is. All right, so this is a chart. Now, at the start of 2023, it was at 10,000. Went all the way up to 60,000. Okay, so 600% this market went up. Okay, so does anyone know what this is a chart of? This is a chart of Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe's stock market. The stock market went from 10,000 at the start of 2023 up to 60,000, up 600%, right? Now, does it mean that Zimbabwe is doing really well? Is their economy doing really well? No, it means that the stock market's going up. Our stock market is going up, but our economy is not doing well. We are in the middle of a financial crisis in the banking system. Everybody thinks it's over, right? Banking problem's over. Banking problem been solved. Earnings just came out. They're making records amounts of money, right? Look at, there's a debt bomb waiting to go off. And when it goes off, the market's going to come back in. Now, if you notice, Zimbabwe's market went up 600%, and then it came down. It's lost about 30% of its market share just in the last month or two. Now, I think we're going to come back in here in the United States. I think we're going to lose about 30% of the S&P. We're at 4,500 right now. I think we're going to come back into around the 3,000 range. Now, a lot of you think, Mike, you're crazy. That's impossible. Look at the market can come down a lot more than 30%, but I think it's just going to have a 30% correction. A lot of you moon boys think this is the new bull market, and we're going to continue higher, and we're going to make record highs. Look, we're only about, 5% off the record highs? 5% is nothing. Heck, it could do that by the end of today. But I do think this market is overbought. I think it's celebrating inflation has ended, and I think that's a premature celebration, and I think it's going to come back in. All right, so let's get over to the real estate market. Now, a lot of people are on my case about this, right? All right, they're saying, Mike, the real estate market hasn't crashed. You've been talking about this for 2 years now, and the real estate market hasn't crashed. What's wrong with you? You're an idiot. Okay, all right, I get that. Now, if I was talking about this, let's go back to say, I'm an older guy. I've been around the block once or twice. Let's say I was talking about this and warning people in 2005, 2006, 2007, that they should be careful, that they should not go out and buy a house. Would I be considered an idiot today when we crashed 34% in 2008? Look at this. A real estate market is not like the stock market. Stock market, it can crash in one day. It can go down 80% one day, right? The real estate market's not like that. Real estate market takes time to play out. Now, the crash, in my opinion, has already started. I don't understand why you think the real estate market's going to continue to go up. We printed $6 or $7 trillion just in the last 2 years. Real estate market's been flat for the last year. Inflation was about 8% for that last year, but the market was flat at best. So that means it's already coming down in real terms. Look, there's inflation out there. There's a debt problem out there. There's a financial crisis out there that's going to bring these market's in. It's going to bring them all in. But a lot of people think that I've got this all wrong because it's not crashed yet. And it probably won't crash tomorrow. This takes years to play out. Look at 2005, a year by, and you lost your butt. 2006, 2007. Now, you didn't lose your butt for a while, right? You were doing well. You were happy. Then 2008 came along. Okay, let me tell you some stories. I'm an old guy, right? Okay, I can tell you a couple of stories here. All right, there's a street up in San Francisco. It's called King Street, right? They were building all these luxury condos. They were beautiful. Oh, they're still there. They're still beautiful. San Francisco, not so beautiful anymore. Used to be a great city, kind of let it run down. But these condos, they built them up. They were brand new and they kind of overbuilt them all up there. But anyways, I sold one on King Street to this girl, $750,000. All right, a little 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom over, had a little bit of a view of San Francisco. Very cool, very cool. And man, she bought that like in 2005, 2006 time frame, and it started going up, She paid $750,000 for it. All right, started going up, and it went to $1 million. Now, today, we have this thing called equity envy. Well, she had a little bit of that equity envy. She kept saying, oh man, I'm making money. And now my mom had a friend who I helped out also on King Street. She bought one of these as an investment. Now, not $750,000. She paid $800,000. She bought it about a half year or a year later, and it kept going up. It got to $1 million. But then 2008 came along. And what happened to these? Well, they dropped. They dropped like a rock. They went from $1 million down to $650,000. Now, these people were really happy when they bought in 2005, 2006, 2007, but then came 2008. Well, the girl, she actually lost it back to the bank. She lost her down payment, lost everything. She had that equity, but she wasn't like Billy Bob. She didn't sell at the top. She rode it back down, and when it got underwater, she didn't want it anymore because it was underwater. So she just gave the keys back to the bank. Now, the investor, the one that bought it as an investment, paid $800,000. She ended up losing her whole down payment and had to bring $20,000 just to get out of the property. Now, this is just a couple of stories. That's just one street, right? But for 3 years, people were warning these people, right? Or maybe they weren't warning them. But anyways, these people were happy. They had equity envy. Man, I'm making $200,000. I'm making $250,000. And we're hearing that today again. We're hearing that equity envy out there. People are very happy because their investment's going up. And this idiot here, Tall Mike, man, he's been talking to you. He's telling you don't buy a house right now. He's telling you it's a terrible time to buy a house. Never been more unaffordable in the course of history, right? It's a terrible time. Prices are high. Interest rates are high. Do not buy a house right now unless you want to get hurt, and you will get hurt. Look, there were this house flippers. House flippers were all back in 2005, 6, and 7. I remember them. Well, I knew one of them. Actually, I knew several of them, but I knew one of them very personally. All right, so, and she was incredibly successful at flipping these houses. She built an empire up. She'd have 10 working deals out there at one time, working them and flipping them, building them, remodeling them, flipping them, working them. She was building this empire. She was a multi-millionaire. When it turned down in 2008, how do you think she made out? She lost everything, went bankrupt, went from multi-millionaire to broke. Now today, a lot of these people are probably getting close to being a billionaire. We're going to write books that are going to be written from billionaire to bankruptcy. I'm telling you, it is not a good time to be an investor in the real estate marketplace right now. A lot of the smart investors, Starwood, selling 2,000 homes out of the 3,200 they own because they see the writing on the wall. And they're selling those homes at a loss. They're taking a hit on them, but they just want to get out of the marketplace because this is coming in. Look, I don't know why home prices aren't up this past year. I really don't. Look, we've been printing money. We've created another $2 or $3 trillion in debt. You can go to the nationaldebtclock.org and look at it. We're way over 32 trillion. We're close to 33 trillion now. So why aren't home prices up higher? We've had this inflation. Why didn't inflation send them up higher this year? home prices starting to go down, Now, look, it still feels like there's demand out there for homes, right? I mean, you hear about it. You get people, oh, I put my home on the market. I had 3 offers the first day, and I took one above asking price. You see, it feels like there's this demand out there, right? That's because the inventory is really tight right now. The number of listings is down. Look, at these things should be going off the market a lot higher, but the crash has already started. We've seen the crash in the number of sales that are being done right now. The number of transactions have crashed. Real estate brokers, we can feel this because our income is way, way down from it just a year or two ago when the number of transactions were way up here, but the market's crashed now and there's no transactions. 30 to 50,000 agents a month are getting out of the business right now. They're leaving the business. They can't make any money. It's really getting tight for a lot of real estate agents. They have to exit the marketplace because they can't make any money. Now, a lot of people take Ubers. Ask your Uber driver, do you also sell houses? And you'd be surprised. I bet you 10% of Uber drivers right now also have a real estate license. That's just the way the market is. The market's coming in. Now, look, there's going to be chaos out there. There's going to be chaos in the marketplace. We're not seeing it yet, right? Because the Fed, they've raised their rates from 0% to 5%. Now, Fed President James Bullard, he just backed out today. Now, that was a little bit of a surprise. I think something's up. I think he can see the writing on the wall as to what's really happening because there's a lag effect. There's a lag effect in the time between where you were at 0% and now you're at 5%. Mortgage rates were at 3%. Now they're headed towards 8%. There's this lag effect, and that lag effect is going to hit the market. Look at liquidity out there is drying up. Okay, we printed over the pandemic. What did we print? 7 trillion, 9 trillion? I don't even know how much we printed. Fed's balance sheet exploded higher. That was creating the liquidity in the marketplace. And you can still see the liquidity in the stock market. Look at the HYG. It's shooting straight up. But look what else is interesting. The dollar is in free fall right now. The dollar, your purchasing power, in other words, your purchasing power it's buying nothing right now. I don't know. Mostly you probably shop for your own groceries. Just go to a grocery store. You don't need the government to tell you that inflation's at 3%. You can feel it. You can feel it in your wallet when you go to the grocery store. When you go to the gas station, you can feel the pain. But the liquidity is starting to dry up. And we're seeing that in the banking crisis right now. The banking crisis, banks are dying for liquidity. They're going to the Federal Home Loan Bank, right, to take out loans, it's like a loan shark making the banks loans right now. I can show you that graph. I showed you that one before. Look at that. There was 2008 where Lehman Brothers went under, where Goldman Sachs almost went under. Here we are today, much higher. And that's just the first quarter. We're way up here now. I'm telling you, the banking crisis is real. We've lost 3 of the top 30 banks already. These banks are going to be going down because they were all doing the same thing. They're all dying for liquidity right now. They're giving you 5% on your money. They're going and borrowing money, taking their collateral, taking the loans that they made, giving them to the Federal Home Loan banking system so that they can get 30% of a loan on their collateral. There's a liquidity problem out there that is going to dry up this real estate market. The real estate market's going to come down. I think the stock market's going to come down too. I'd be some cautious right here. If you've had this big run up, I mean, it's been great this year, right? Now, what is S&P up 20%, NASDAQ's up 30-some%? I mean, it's been a great ride, but I'd be careful. Liquidity's starting to dry up. There's going to be chaos in the real estate market. Now, right now, yeah, you can get out close to the price that Billy Bob got out at. Now, of course, your area is never going to go down, but I'm telling you, it's going to be tougher to transact once the prices start to go down. Once you get that free fall effect in the real estate market, it's not easy to get out. You can go on Zillow, you can go on Redfin, you can look up what your property's worth. Man, look at that equity envy, and plus I'm locked in at 2.8%. I'm sitting in the catbird seat is where I'm sitting. That's right. I got it going on right now. Look at things can change really quick. Chaos is going to hit the real estate market. The crash is already happening. It may be invisible in your area, but it's happening. The number of transactions down. Why are they down? Because there's no demand. The demand's dried up. People think the demand's going to come back as soon as they lower the rates. They can't come back. They can't afford to buy. The demand has gone away. Yes, there's only a few sales right now. And yes, you can still make it out right now. Yes, if you put your home on the marketplace, you're probably still going to get a bid or two. Look, it's going to happen. This liquidity will dry up the market. It'll be tough to make a transaction at that point. Real estate is sold on the margin. It doesn't take like 10% of the people to start exiting the market for the downward spiral to start. You get 1 or 2% of the people leaving the market, and you're going to see a downward spiral like you've never seen before. There's going to be forced selling when that happens, and it will perpetuate the spiral in a downward direction. Now, maybe you can catch another 3, 4, 5% higher in the real estate market. Maybe you can catch another 3, 4, 5% higher in the stock market. But you're playing with fire if you're expecting to get out at the top, get out at the price Billy Bob got out at. Not going to happen. I'm telling you, this is going to come in. Just my take. This is just my opinion. People go, but Mike, you come out every day. You don't have any proof. You don't know what you're talking about. You've been saying the same thing for 2 years. Okay, that's all true. You go do what you want to do. If you want to go out, buy a house, more than happy to sell you one. I'm a real estate broker. My name's Tall Mike. Give me the thumbs up today. It's Friday, everybody. Get out there. Enjoy the weekend. Why not? I want to talk to you next week, so please hit the subscribe button. Get out there, everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.